but it says I'm live, so it must be. Yes. All right. Welcome from the Crossroads of America, a talk show about guns, politics, or anything else that crosses my mind. Answer questions from the audience. You can either do it in the chat or by email at rickslifeasIseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. I have a Patreon page, PayPal, and all that other good info down there in the info section. So I want to say, sorry, my cat just came up to me. Anyway, let's see who's gun-loving grandpa was first. Then gun snob. So far, that's it. Right now in the chat, people, it takes a while for YouTube to go live now. I noticed that. And I've noticed lately, they've been putting the commercials in front of everyone that starts. It the piss out of me, but what can you do? But anyway, I will introduce my panel so far. I got New York Outcast. How you doing?
Doing well. Thanks for having me. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Yeah. Then we got Blind Shooter from New York City.
Hey, Rick, everybody.
Yeah. And of course, there's me, of course. At the moment, let's see who else is gonna show up. I don't know.
Been invaded by New York.
Yep. So let's see. Here we are. Okay. As my topic said, it's been in the news now, and it's getting really hot today. It's sad that Ginsburg has passed away. She was 87. I think she should have retired years ago. It's always sad when somebody dies, But my God, the vultures are out there, on what's going to happen. But Trump today put out a text saying that the position needs filling straight away. So I would imagine he's going to nominate somebody in this coming week, So, gun-loving grandpa said, I found some small pistol primers today. I hope you bought as many as they would allow you to, So.
Yeah. I'd say it's sad for her family, the loss and whatnot.
And
everybody knows her name. That's one way of looking at things. But, it's got to be hard for them to, everywhere they look, see her face and what's going to happen. So,
yeah.
She's getting a lot of attention.
Yeah. And she was big in women's rights back in the day, being who she was, being married with kids, being a lawyer. People wouldn't hire her because she was a woman and all this kind of stuff. She set a standard for women in the legal profession. She done all that, even though I just like her for her political leanings. But she did do some stuff.
Yeah, give credit's due. I think her age is something, 87. I think that, gosh, I don't know. There's a lot of people I wouldn't trust to drive to the store at 87. So that concerns me a little bit. You know what I mean? Talk about stuck in your ways, or
that life appointment. She literally took it to mean life. She died in office. Because it's a lifetime appointment. I think there should be a limit on age, though. I'm not saying that 87, her brain wasn't sharp, but I don't think it was. But, just because somebody's old doesn't mean their brain's not capable of doing stuff. But there's got to be, as you said, physically, she was having trouble. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, I think, at least, it's been explained in a sense that basically people kind of peak out in life. Your motor skills, mental ability, things like that. Not stating everybody does, but they call it senior adolescence.
Yeah.
It's kind of a cycle that people go through. I think, when you're looking at that age, I think the odds are a lot higher that you would come across issues. So not saying anybody that age, it, would be an issue or anything like that, but
Yeah.
are the people getting the best that we should be getting is all I'm stating. You know what I mean? When you go across the board with some of that age. So I'm sure some of them are sharp as a tack. Others I would highly question.
Yeah. Oh,
and medications, side effects from medications.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Also, mind you, what I was thinking about, besides all that, and now, the left said it should be left until the new president gets elected, just like they did at the end of Obama's term, but the Republicans say, no, there was a difference. That was he was a lame duck because that was his last term. This is Trump's first term. That makes a difference. How, I'm not sure, but
I'd say fill it.
Fill
it now. People like you because you don't act like a regular politician and want to hold it over our heads for election. So get it done.
I don't think it'd be. Problem is, I don't think it can be. I don't think confirmation will be before the election. But even if he loses, he's got to the end of the year. He's got to January 19th. You know what I'm saying? To get it done.
I think the only downside to whoever he picks, we all know they're going to drag that person through the ringer and dig up any skeletons they can. Male, female, black, white. The person's in for one hell of a ride.
I personally feel that will help them. That will help the Republican Party win again if the Democrats do that, because after the last Kavanaugh debacle, that turned a lot of Democrats off, right? That watching them stoop that low, just to stop him from being becoming a Supreme Court justice.
Apparently they said that Trump released a list of judges he had in mind to fill the seat.
Oh yeah, he did about a week and a half ago.
It'd be nice if one of them was a female, bisexual, lesbian, and a minority.
It'd be nice. We don't have to worry about markers. Just get people that'll do their job.
Yeah, there was people were saying, well, they should fill it with a female. No, he should fill it with who he thinks is the
best qualified.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, it should be the best qualified, but you figure the Democrats are always going after, this person's of this race or this gender, they're this religion. If Trump nominates, let's say, a minority female who's of LGBTQ status, that's going to make the Democrats' head spin and explode because they can't attack that person.
Oh, they'll find a way. But anyway, I don't think there's one of those on the list.
They're not LGBTQ enough or something.
Yeah. But there was a question I had before you said that, and I can't remember what in the hell it was. Nope, it's gone. But it was something to do with like Ted Cruz is on that list. He put out, but Ted Cruz says he wouldn't accept it because he likes doing what he does. He doesn't want to be on the Supreme Court. Then I hear people touting he's not even on the list, but touting what's his name? Craig Gowdy, is that how you pronounce it? Because when he was on that House committee, he was hot shit. But he showed his true colors on the last mass shooting. He said, yes, we should have banned assault weapons. That came out of his mouth. People seem to forget that. People have short goddamn memories. They really do.
Yeah, they do.
Now,
I can't remember 4 years ago.
Here's a question for you guys, still on the Supreme Court. What the Democrats are saying, if he nominates one that one gets confirmation when the Democrats finally get the presidency and the Senate again. They will they will add judges to the Supreme Court and stack it in their favor. My question is I mean, in the Constitution, is there anything in there that says it can or can't do that? You know, who said it was 9 judges? Who set that number? Anybody know? I guess not.
I don't.
I don't either. I was just curious. So they say, I mean, the number had to come from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So it just made me wonder. And what was the other thing I was going to mention on that? Oh, yes. But already Sue Collins, the other woman, I think from Alaska, can't remember her name, have said they will vote no for any Supreme Court this side of the election. And of course, then you got to worry about Mitt Romney. He's going to vote against Trump because he's a never Trumper, right? Just out of principle.
If anybody needs to resign, it's him.
Oh, Jason Stewart said Congress set the number. Okay, as in Congress, you're talking about the House. You know, come up and have to be agreed on between all of them. I don't know. What I was going to say. Yes. So there's 3, right? What people got to remember, the Republicans, luckily on this, the simple majority wins. But at the Republicans have 53 seats in the Senate. So if those 3 say no, that leaves it at 50-50. Right? And that means the vice president will have to vote the tiebreaker. So this could be a very interesting thing this year. It really could. I think it's kind of exciting in a way that's going on. So would the vice president vote for Trump's pick?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he didn't vote for Trump's pick.
But I think he will.
Oh, I think he will too. But it wouldn't surprise me if he, jumped ship and said, "No, we're not doing it."
Yeah. But he's done. I mean, lately Trump's been praising him like hell. You know how great he is. So more likely that's why he's doing it, because he knows that he might need him to be the tiebreaker. I don't know, but that's I found that kind of interesting that because I mean when it comes to filling judges' seats and stuff like that, simple majority gets the vote. All you got to have is 51 seats, 51 yays, and that will get it. But when it comes to bills, you need 60 votes. So they've always been shy those 7 votes that they need. You know, and that's where people who annoy the piss out of me saying, well, the first 2 years he had the House and the Senate and the White House and did nothing for us in the Second Amendment. He couldn't, because you need 60 votes. And the Democrats are always voting on party lines because they want to get rid of Trump. So there's no way anything could be passed. So, see, people seem to forget that. And that's even today, even though the House is, Democrats got the majority, they're passing all these bills and sending them to the Senate even if the Senate wanted to do it, they have to have 60 votes. Republicans have to have 60 votes in the Senate for a bill to pass. Or even if the Democrats took control, they would still need 60 votes to pass anything. You know, that's the magic number. But, you know, you never know. That's just my take on it. I could be wrong. Jason Stewart said Congress set the number of 9 back in the 1800s. So Congress can change the number, I guess. So it's not, because that's not set in law. And since the Congress did it, that's not set in the Constitution. So they can change it. So there you go. You know? Well, the other thing on my, we can always go back to this topic if somebody else wants to mention it. But the next thing I was going to mention is that the shooting of the 2 cops, you know, and then another 2 cops. Now, what I found strange was the 2 cops that were targeted in Arizona. They got shot at, but not one bullet hit them, which I found amazing. Either he was a piss poor shot, or I don't know. They had luck on their side, you know. But I mean, yes. I mean, I'm saying the police are too militarized. They need to screen the people better to get rid of the bad apples that they do have. But damn, to actually just go up and shoot them just for the sake of shooting them. What in the hell is this country coming to? Also, my next question, this is a 2-part question. Like the first shooting, when they shot those 2 policemen, everybody's saying it was a guy who was 27, 28. To me, I thought it looked like some youngster myself. But if they know he was 28, 27, they must know who in the fuck he is. If they know what his age is, or am I missing?
I heard they had leads on it, promising leads or something like that. But usually, a lot of times that doesn't really mean anything. Yeah, that's could mean absolutely nothing in a sense. It might just be there to calm the public in a sense. So I'm not sure. A lot of people are claiming it looked like a female. It was. So who knows?
Yeah. What do you think, Blind Shooter?
So what's the question that you're asking? Like why it happened, or?
No, well, yeah. Well, I mean, why is it happened? And the police said at the time on that first one, it was a 27, 28-year-old. If they know how old the guy was, surely they know who he is.
I will. With regards to the whole the giving out the person's age, I have family in law enforcement. They explained it to me that a lot of the times they don't know specifically who the person is, but they go based off of how the person looks and they judge the age from there. So, for example, they can look at, let's just say you, Rick, and they'll say, middle-aged man, approximately 45 to 50 years old. They may not be your exact age, but they're just giving out ballpark figures. That way, everyone else can be on the lookout for someone within that age gap that fits your description.
Okay, I'm with you. All right. To me, when I looked at that video, it looked like a little kid to me. But I mean, of course, it's amazing, like videos like that, and even videos of Bigfoot or UFOs are always blurry. I mean, when you need a crisp video, it's never there. So oh, I see Guns and Barbecues in the chat. Good to see you. What was my next thing I was going to talk about? Oh yeah, did you read that article about the NRA? Had raised more money for their victory fund or whatever they call it the one that they have for politics, raised more money this year than they did in 2016. So everybody's saying F the NRA, put your money elsewhere. I guess a lot of people ain't listening, are they? Those diehard people who have been NRA members forever. The FUDs, I guess you would say. People who call FUDs, they believe in the NRA. Even when I go sit down in a diner, they talk like, the NRA is it. It's what it's all about.
You have them, and then you have a lot of the, people on the gun side of it as well, as far as like training side, instructors that are going to have to renew, or, I'm not sure if they're all lifetime members or how that works, but people that are trying to become instructors that were already planning on their way. So until everything gets figured out, they're probably still buying in. So I'm sure they're still bringing in income, but it probably is a little less than normal. But also a lot of their income comes from bigger backers, from what I'm told anyway. So I've also heard of people leaving property to them and all types of different things. So I'm sure there's lots of different sources.
Yeah. What about you, Blind Shooter?
I agree with pretty much what Outcast said. I mean, a lot of these instructors do seem to favor the NRA so they can get the credentials and make themselves look good to a certain population of firearms enthusiasts. And then also, like, me being a lifetime member, I signed up to be the lifetime member before shit hit the fan with them.
Yeah.
But they'll send me letters every month, every 2 months, and, become a benefactor, put us in your will. Like, I'm not leaving you jack shit when I die. And I think what a lot of their revenue is coming in from is the old time gun owners who, at one point thought the NRA was the greatest thing since sliced bread, put them in their will to get the property or whatever life savings they had. And that person never bothered to edit the will to take them out of it.
Yeah, that's a good point. And unfortunately, then our man Wayne is buying $200,000 suits, with that money.
Yeah, that don't help.
No. Gunsnob has a question for us. He wants to know what question for the panel and me. What is the dumbest gun law of, one that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever?
I think me and Outcast are going to pick the same one, but go ahead.
Well, you're starting. You go ahead, Blind Shooter.
Safe
what do you
Act.
think? What?
The New York Safe Act.
Oh, okay. What about where you can carry guns or buy how many guns you can have and all that?
Yep.
Yeah, that's probably a good one. I mean, my first thought on an individual law, I guess, would be probably the round count. But if you had to wrap it up, the Safe Act, because that's pretty much the whole thing is BS, in my opinion. And it puts a lot of restrictions on New Yorkers, where obviously PA, that's not the case. So it's seems, to me like a really dumb law, because, especially, like I said, everywhere around us almost is less restrictive. So, and criminals don't really follow the law anyway. So the whole thing is just stupid. So, yeah.
Oh, Gunstorm wants to know what is the part of the Safe Act that is the dumbest. Go for it, Blind Shooter.
Oh, I would say it's a tie between the round count for the magazines and then not being able to have the AR-15 with all the different features that they are normally built to come with. I mean, does it really make sense? Let's say an adjustable buttstock. That's not going to matter how accurate someone can kill somebody with. It just makes them more comfortable to shoot.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Oh, the gun snob did say full disclosure. He's making a video about the top 10 dumbest gun laws. You know, so I mean, I guess to me, mine's on a federal level. It's it's a federal thing, but it's governed by the 50 states. Is your carry permit, right? I mean, like when I was living in Rhode Island, as everybody knows, that was the smallest state in the union. But I had to get a license for Connecticut, which surrounds Rhode Island. I had to get a license for Massachusetts because that surrounds Rhode Island. I didn't bother applying to New York because I knew there would be no chance. You know what I'm saying? So I think, like that. I mean, because you change state, because you go over a state line that it doesn't count anymore, but your driving license does, which I find really asinine. I always thought it was. I thought if you got a carry permit, it should be good for the whole United States, just like your driving license is. But each state to their own, which makes it very difficult. I mean, another dumb one is that it's been taken to court now out of Hawaii. Is they won't let you open carry, but they're not passing any concealed carry permits. So basically, you have no Second Amendment. You can't. Yes, you can own a gun in your house and take it to the range and stuff, but you can't bear arms, to protect yourself. Literally, they're taking your right away from you. So that's what I was thinking of anyway. I don't know if that's dumb or not. I think it's dumb. But plus, magazine restrictions I think is dumb is too. Like the magic number over 11, is going to make all the difference. That 11th bullet is the dangerous one. That's the one that's going to slaughter millions of people when you're shooting at them. It's that 11th bullet. So, I don't know. But anyway.
I mean, it's surprising, like, with regards to the magazine capacity, how many people on the anti-gun side just don't understand the difference between actual round count and then magazines. I was talking to a friend of mine. He's a defense attorney here in New York. He's like, why do you guys need 30 rounds in a gun, period? He's like, you shouldn't need 30 rounds in your gun. Put it down to 10 or 15 and that's it. I'm like, so you think the gun automatically just holds 30 rounds? He's like, yeah, don't they all hold that? I'm like, no, there's a difference between a magazine that actually holds the bullets and then having one racked in the chamber. And like, oh, we didn't know
that. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
I don't think people should be making laws or judgments or rules on things that they don't understand to begin with. And I think that goes across the board with a lot of this stuff.
Okay.
You have no clue what you're talking about, then why are you talking about it? And it's like that, sign it now so we can read it later crap. I mean, that's just, all that type of stuff shouldn't exist.
Oh, okay. He's narrowed it down a little bit. The gun snob said, I'm looking for one that when you explain it to a person in the middle, they're actually dumbfounded to find out that is a thing. So
look up New York Safe Act and take your pick.
Right?
It's a long list to the point where I don't recall it all. And I went to Albany to protest it. So I knew quite a bit, but it's a lot to remember. Like they don't even know, for the longest, they didn't even know like the gun shops, nobody, like how many markers were what was considered as a marker. They were scared to sell anything. You'd call a sheriff's department, ask them, they wouldn't know. You'd call the state troopers, they're not 100%. Like it was a gamble for a while.
Yeah, I mean, the people that are supposed to enforce the law themselves, even to this day, still don't know what's legal and what's illegal. They just see the gun like, well, we need to take this and call someone, and if it's okay for you to have it, you can pick it up with a voucher slip.
Yeah. Okay. Ohio said the 922R count in part that are U.S. or foreign made that determine if it's legal to own. You know, in other words, you know, the law for importing guns. I guess that's what he's on about. And Jason said, in Ohio, the open carry without a permit has to have your chamber empty. Now that is a dumb law. You can open carry, but you can't have one in the chamber. So I mean, what's the point of carrying? You know, you got to rack it first. You know, and if you can rack it before the other guy shoots you, good luck to you. So, yeah, I can see that. I mean, that's a stupid law. That one really is. You know.
You mind if we jump back to what you were saying about Trump a little bit ago?
Yes, go on.
All right. I just, and before I start this, I just want to point out I'm not an anti-Trumper or anything. Okay, so don't get me wrong. I just think some people are just high on the Kool-Aid or something. He's only a man, and he's a man that's told us stuff that, as Rick mentioned earlier, he couldn't even do before we elected him to begin with. So, whether we know that or not, the general public, how do they look at it? I mean, when Obama was getting elected, everybody thought they were getting a free house, and they free phone, which was actually through the Bush deal prior to him. But needless to state, I think it's maybe we can agree he told us he could do stuff he couldn't do. I mean, does that seem right or no?
That he could do stuff he couldn't do.
Yeah, like let's say
he didn't keep him.
Yeah, I mean, is that fair to say? The wall, Hillary going to jail, drain the swamp. Basically, he told us a lot of stuff that he just couldn't get done. Whether he couldn't get it done or didn't get it done, which you're stating in a lot of cases he couldn't get it done. Not even a possibility. That still kind of leaves us with a guy telling us one thing and doing another. So obviously he's better than our choices. Don't get me wrong, but he's still only a guy. So I think
I mean, like the Hillary thing. When he got elected, then he said, "Oh, I'm not going to worry about it." I think he should have. She more likely would have got off, but I think it should have been done. You know what I'm saying? But now, this is my personal opinion on the wall. He said we're building the wall, and Mexico will pay for it. What the American
which is crazy to say, but should we honestly be sitting here as a community making excuses for a guy that told us he was going to do one thing and did another, just because he's pro 2A, or we think he is?
No. Now back to what I'm saying is, so the majority of American people actually expected, or when he said that, what they're thinking is Mexico is going to hand a check to the United States to build the wall. That's what I think the American people thought. But with terrorists and stuff, technically they are paying for it. But hey, that's my opinion. So,
all right. Well, I didn't want to harp on anything. I just want to point out,
I understand where you're coming from.
He's not a saint. You know what I mean? The guy's not a saint.
He's far from a saint. And I wish, as we've discussed before, that there was more than just a two-party system. but that's what we got, and that's what we have to deal with. And, unfortunately, the Republican Party, who is headed by President Donald J. Trump, that's who you got to vote for if you want to keep America halfway to what it. I mean, keep it to like what we think it should be, because if the other side gets it, and I've mentioned this in one of my other chats too. If Joe Biden gets in, or the Democrats get in, the republic, as we know it, is over, done. It's run its time, like all the other, like the Roman Empire, the Ottomans, and the British Empire. They all crumbled eventually, from the inside, and that's what's happening right here.
I basically agree with you. My concern is what happens. He wins, and then in 4 years later, then what? Because everybody we're getting served up is pretty much the opposite of what we stand for. So we're still in the same predicament in a sense. It's just now or 4 years from now.
Yeah. Now I'm wondering if I think Trump's going to win again, because I think the Democrats have upset too many people. I mean, the diehard Democrat. I mean, just like the diehard Republican, they're going to vote for their party no matter what, right? But I think the people on the fence,
I hope he wins.
I think the people on the fence realize, now the Supreme Court thing's coming up. I said Americans have short memories. They're gonna remember the Kavanaugh thing, the debacle that became. Then you had the Russian collusion bullshit. It just made them look sick. And right now, I think Pelosi is stopping, when it comes to money, or stopping people getting another $1,200 check from the government. Relief because of the COVID thing. It's her stopping it. She wants the $3 trillion, and she wants money to bail out all her Democratic states who are in a sheep bunch of trouble because of what's going on, like New York, for instance.
She's going to have a whole lot more in her driveway.
Yeah. So I think people are seeing this. So I honestly. And as I said, if Biden does, by some miracle, does win it, he's only going to be, I reckon it'll last 6 months. Then it will be Kamala Harris as the first woman president. I know it's going to happen.
I don't want Biden to win. Even just on paper, if she takes it over down the line, it doesn't matter. To me, it's just a disgrace. It's a stain. It's a black eye on our country. As corrupt as our stuff is, you can't have somebody like that up there. I'm sorry. You got to be able to hold a conversation and, be able to cross the street by yourself and stuff like that. That's just crazy.
Yeah. What? I just can't. But here's a question for you. Because everybody says, like the liberal. Okay, so you have, say, a third party. But the way the rules are written is you've got to win 271 electoral college seats, votes, to become president of the United States, correct? I believe it's 271 or 270. You've got to win to become the president. So if you had 3 parties and none of them got to 270, what do you do? What's the rule for that?
I think the 270 is the Yeah, I think the number would change if there were three major parties, like when the Bull Moose Party won with Teddy Roosevelt.
Oh, okay. I said, I mean, yeah, you got to look back on. Yeah, okay. I was just curious, you know.
I don't know. I'd assume those are the one that had the most votes, the most seats. You would think, but I don't know.
That's how I would play it. But what's scaring me here is Trump's going to win. Then the Democrats are going to say, "Hang on, all the mail-in votes haven't been counted yet," and delay it past January 20th. And that makes Pelosi in charge of the country. Until a new president is
pretty scary there.
What?
Pretty scary there. And then if the Supreme Court is 4-4, then she'll remain president.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Jason says 3-party. I think the top two become president and vice president. I think. So I don't know. I don't know myself. It's something I have to research because it's strange. Well, I mean, it's just weird, and I think, as we said before, a lot of these people came in. I think that's assuming Pelosi's still Speaker of the House. True, because everybody gets voted into every 2 years in the House. But her district will more likely vote her in again to be a member of Congress. And would Congress vote her in would the Democrat Party vote her as Speaker of the House again? I mean, she barely got it last time because she said she would do certain things for certain people that they voted for, So I don't know. That's a tough one.
What a dirty world,
But I'm hoping that the Republicans take back the House. I really am. And I would love us to have 60 plus seats in the Senate. Then you could pass all these bills with no problems. Yeah, as Tucker says, the Democrats would have to control the House for her to be Speaker. That's if they. People seem to think that the Democrats are going to keep the House. I don't think they are. I personally think, I could be wrong, and I will admit I was wrong if it happens. I think, it's going to be a bigger victory for Trump than what people realize. And you thought the Democrats, their minds exploded when Trump won last time. Oh my God! This time, I think they'll be grabbing those guns they hate so much, taking their own lives with them. So it's strange times. But that's another one of my topics. What else can happen in 2020 that hasn't happened already? It really. Well, did you see that article did you see that thing on CNN Friday night? The CNN doctor, their doctor they have on call, who's a contributor to the CNN thing. He said 80 to 90% of the lives could have been saved in the COVID-19 epidemic if the mask plan was not scrapped. They found this memo where there was going to be a plan back in April, I believe it was, that they were going to send 5 masks to every household in the country. But it got scrapped because they thought if all these masks started showing up, the country would panic, even worse than it was already panicking. That's the way I interpret it, unless I misread it. You know? So, but 80 to 90% of the people would have been saved. And I don't believe, I mean, I think it's total crap what he's saying. I'm not saying there might not have been an idea to send masks to everybody. I don't know. But to save 80 to 90%, I doubt it. You know? So. None of you heard that? Don't you guys keep an eye on CNN? All the other channels just to see what world they're living in?
Hey, did you see where Biden said had he been in charge, he would have saved 100% of all the lives in the CNN?
See, that's exactly it. How could he even be there?
Yeah. Not only that, and you were talking about what else could go wrong in 2020. There's supposed to be a large meteor that's going to hit on November 4th or be a near miss the whole Earth on November 4th, the day after the election. Then, yeah, it's still predicted. They're not sure if it's going to hit the U.S. or just go right next to us. But then also on the 21st of December, the first time in 6,000 years, all the planets and all the moons are going to be lined up in perfect line. And they say it could cause a EMP explosion. And for 4 days, there could be a radioactive fallout.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so we got a lot more in store for 2020.
It's time. If we live to see 2021, we're going to be very lucky people.
Think the aliens may have showed up just to watch.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I got to research those now. You know. I think that's funny. So, okay. What else was I going to mention? There was something else I was going to mention. I can't remember what the hell it was. Damn it. Damn. I can't remember what the hell it was. You know? Oh, did you see that? It's amazing how everything happens in Florida. Where
it's hot and people are half dressed. It's a crazy place.
Yeah, I mean, there was about that man who killed the woman with a sword. There was a gun in the house, but he didn't use it. He used the sword instead. You know, so what they're saying is that just because they're guns doesn't mean there's, you know, in domestic disputes, they will be killed if somebody has a gun in the house. The man used his sword and killed her.
I appreciate that. Not that he killed the lady, but, you know, that he didn't use a gun, so it's not thrown up in the news again. So maybe he was a true gun guy before he went nuts.
Maybe. Yeah. But I mean, if the debate happens, and that's meant to happen in, let's see, about 8 or 10 days. Let's see. On the 29th? It's meant to happen for 10 days. The first debate. I mean, without a teleprompter, I don't know if. I
don't think they should be allowed to use a teleprompter. It's a dang debate. Like, you're not supposed to. That's like using your phone for a test or something. It doesn't make any dang sense.
I mean, he would have to have his people behind the curtain on a keyboard. And when something said, they got to type it in real quick.
Or or
You'll
an
have an
earpiece answering the questions. Yeah, but I don't think that should be legit. That's that's a man behind the curtain for state. That's crap. Like you should
because
be
I
able
don't
to
think.
handle that yourself if you're applying for this spot. If you're willing to do this job, you should be able to do that.
Well, I was reading an article this morning that Trump shouldn't underestimate Biden in a debate because he held his own in the primaries. And, he can here hold his own with Trump. And I'm thinking, where's it? I mean, back to, I said, seeing what the other side's doing. It's amazing what world they're living in. Or is it us? Are we living in an artificial perception of what America is, and their side is right and we are wrong? Besides, I mean,
well, how are we wrong when it comes to 2A? Because most of us want everybody to have the right to protect themselves or loved ones or family members. So how does that put us on the wrong side? Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. Maybe that's just a biased way of looking at it, but in a sense, we even want our enemies to be protected, if you want to call them that. So who's really the bad guy?
Yeah.
That kind of brings up a question. I do wonder how all these guns end up in Chicago. Are there that many straw purchases? Or are these stolen guns? Or is there a network of stolen guns? Where are all these guns in Chicago coming from,
Stolen from around Illinois, around the city. That's what they did because what's her name? The Lightfoot, the mayor of Chicago.
Yeah.
Said that people are coming into Indiana buying guns by the rack sack full and taking them to the city because we have no gun laws here in Indiana. Anybody can buy them, no checks, no nothing. Buy as many as you want. That's what she claimed. But then the was it the FBI or it was the Chicago Police Department? There was a report made, and 80% of the guns confiscated for shootings that happened in the city. 80% of them were originally owned by people who lived in Illinois. So that blew her thing right out of the window. But they're getting the guns black market,
Home invasions,
home
burglaries, stealing them out of cars. You got people having hard times, making sales they shouldn't.
Gun stores being robbed. What's called stores.
All that adds up when you look at the size of a state, a lot of times it might just be crimes of opportunity with kids looking for something to get quick money to party with, and then they get lucky and find somebody's gun in the car. So
a few years ago, I can't remember where it was. I think it was Smith and Wesson. The guns traveled from the factory to wherever they're going by train. And when the train had stopped overnight, people busted into the boxcar and took the guns. That's the kind of thing that happens.
I paid for all my guns legally at the store.
Yeah. Very few people, law-abiding citizens, buy guns to do crime with. I'm not saying they haven't done that, but normally if a law-abiding citizen does a crime with a gun he's bought, either he's developed some mental issues or something serious has happened to make him go, unlawful, should I say.
And then there's people like a gun tuber, I won't use a name, that just had a firearm stolen from him recently, and from what I hear, the gun still hasn't been found, and he didn't plan on pressing any charges, which I think is ridiculous. I think I don't care if what the circumstance is. If one of my kids' friends steals a gun from me, there's going to be charges pressed. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Here too.
Yeah. Oh, Southpaw said
So,
some of those guns, could they have come from the Fast and Furious debacle? Where they were buying guns and selling them to the Mexicans. They could be selling to whoever. So, I mean, a lot of these gun crimes where people are stealing guns, like the box cars out of the trains, breaking into gun stores. You don't hear about them. But you got to read the small print in papers and stuff to hear all those kind of stories, or lucky to catch it. But that's where most of those guns come from. Is people have stole them and sell them on the black market. I mean, there must be good trade in it because every gangster wants a gun. Every gang member wants a gun. Everybody wants a gun.
Yeah, and they'll pay for it. Pay overbook for it. That's for sure. In different ways, a lot of times when it comes to street prices.
I want one of those too, gun-loving grandpa. I want a gun like in the movies that never runs out of bullets. So. I think another stupid law is where you have to that one gun a month thing. That's really going to make a difference. So say for argument's sake, you're only allowed one gun a month, a handgun. Well, say for argument's sake, there's you in the house, your wife, and say you still have some older kids living at your house who are going to college, but they're 21. They're still living at home until they finish college and stuff. So that means say there's just one of them going to college. So that's 3. So that gives you 3 guns a month right there. Or is it 1 gun per household? What's the law? I mean,
Probably per individual, I assume.
Yeah, so
doing a background check.
If you had more people over the age of 21, well, I mean, to buy handguns, but to buy rifles, you only got to be 18. In some states, you got to be 21, but
yeah, I don't think there should. Yeah, that's obviously, like you said, a dumb law. But I mean, yeah, if you already have one, if you wanted to commit a crime, you could instead of buying another, and you still have one because you're not a criminal. In most cases legally. So you know what I mean. The whole thing doesn't make any sense. So what's the difference?
Yeah, Ohio 45 ACP said one of his friends' home was broken into when he went to dinner. Took his guns, keys, and money at the house. Oh, yeah. It don't take much. I mean, as I was saying, was it Wednesday night when I was saying it? Or last Saturday? Somebody asked about the thing. When I was saying about guns laying around, me being on my own, I normally have a minimum of 2 guns out somewhere. Or even right now. My 1875 is sitting behind me here. My 380s by my bed. I got my little 22 in my pocket here. My shotgun in my 22 lever action are in the closet in the bedroom in a gun case. So if somebody broke in to my house, they could find guns, no problem. And I would report them stolen. Because I have a list. Because I got a little tiny safe in the bedroom. I mean, if they wanted to break into that, they could break into that too. But I keep all my gun info, serial numbers and stuff in there. So if somebody steals my guns, I've got the info.
You should copy that list and maybe stick it on the back of your refrigerator or something. Make a metal note, because more than likely if somebody breaks in, they will just steal your small safe too. and then you have no idea of your own numbers.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah, you got to keep that in mind.
Yeah. That is a good point. It's a shame that you have to do that in this world. It really is.
It is, but CYA, you got to cover your rear end. That's the way things go, unfortunately.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. I said it's a strange world. It's changed though. Who was I talking to? I was talking to somebody. Where was I? Oh yeah, I was at the eye doctor's yesterday, and they're checking my eyes because I got to have my eyes tested every 18 months or so because of the diabetes for the glaucoma, whatever they call it. I had to have my eyes. He wanted to put the drops in my eyes yesterday, and I said, no. I said, let me find somebody to drive me. Normally what happens is I'll have it done, and they'll say, well, you got somebody to drive you home? I said, oh, yeah, they're sitting outside in the car. And I walk out, jump in my truck, and drive home. As long as I'm wearing sunglasses, I can drive.
You're bad.
I
had arguments with my father over stuff like that.
The reason I didn't want it yesterday, because I realized I didn't have my sunglasses in the truck. So I thought, no, I ain't doing it because I won't be able to drive home today. Plus, I had to load my scooter on my truck too, and that takes time. So, I know we're totally off subject, but I used it in Walmart. Yeah, why I took it in, I don't know. I could have walked in really, but I thought, hell, I never took it off from the other day, so I just thought, well, hell, I got it here, I might as well use it. So I rode into Walmart. I was early, so I rode around Walmart a little. And I got yelled at to slow down by an employee. Oh, one of the ones must have been one of the ones in the yellow vests. Said, slow down, you're going a bit fast on that thing. So I thought it was funny. I thought that only happened in Rhode Island. They got me here in Indiana now for speeding. So
it can happen. Here you can get a DWI on your lawnmower. Anything with wheels, roller skates, supposedly skateboard, and I got a ticket on a bicycle once. It didn't hold, but they.
Oh, but Vanessa Kitty does the same thing I do. I use sunglasses, that little piece of dark plastic from the doctors, and my hat brim to drive from the eye doctor. Oh yeah, because they normally give you a plastic thing that sits over your nose. That looks like it's sort of like lenses. I could have used those, but I'd rather use those plus sunglasses like Vanessa, to really make it dark. But normally, once I got home and I came indoors, normally what I would do was I go take a nap in a dark room. Then normally when I woke up, my eyes were almost back to normal. So. But, the good thing was my insurance, because I'm on Medicare, but I use United Health. What the hell do they call it? Advantage thing? Yeah, Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. Besides the people who are on Social Security, we have to pay for that. We pay $144.50 a month. It's taken off of our check before we even get it. But then for this Advantage plan, I have to pay $18 premium a month on that, which ain't bad. With that I get free. I pay my local primary doctors. I have no copay. If I get my medication by mail, I have no copay. Also, when I was at the doctor's yesterday, I had an eye exam for glasses. I had an eye exam for contact lenses. I ordered some contact lenses. And I get $250. I think it's every 2 years now. It used to be every year, but I think it's every 2 years on my insurance. So I didn't pay a damn thing yesterday. So I ordered my contact lenses and didn't pay a damn thing. I use an Advantage plan, Vanessa. I said I use United Health. I use United Healthcare. Hang on. Yeah. Actually, it's AARP, Medicare Advantage from United Healthcare. You don't have to be a member of AARP to get it either, because I'm not a member. I refuse to join AARP because they're anti-gun, to be honest with you. But I got contact lenses, had my eye exams done, and walked out of there, and didn't cost me a penny, which I thought was pretty good. You know. So now my contact lenses, theoretically, they're only meant to last 2 weeks. They're not dailies, but you take them out and put them in solution, and you can wear them the next day. Theoretically, you can wear them for 2 weeks, but my eye doctor told me, he says they're good for a month. So with the amount I bought, I should have enough to last me almost a year. So doing it that way. Now I've worn contact lenses before, so that's not a problem. And the only reason I want contact lenses is for actually shooting when I go down the range. Because I've said this before. Because my glasses, these are progressive, so there's no line here, but they're bifocals. When it goes further down, the vision's different. And when I'm holding a gun out there looking down the thing, I have to move my head around to get my lens where I can see properly. So, but now with my contact lenses, I use monovision, and I haven't worn contacts for almost 2 years, or at least 18 months. So I'm going to have to get used to them again. It gives you a headache for about a week and a half because my left eye is for distance. My right eye is for close up. So eventually, after about a week and a half, your brain finally figures it out and the headache stops and you're able to see without any problems. But holding that gun up, I can see down that sight without any problem whatsoever. So I don't know how people can wear contacts. I just can't stick my finger in my eye, no matter how hard I try. I thought that too, but I finally, Vanessa, does it help pay for dental and eyeglass stuff? Yes, it does. My dental, I get a lot of my dental's free. Plus, if I got I think when I say free, I think I get up to $1,000 of free dental stuff that can be done. Like they can be used to buy dentures, or if you want a crown done or anything like that, that covers it. So, just Vanessa's asking me in the chat there. So where was I? Forgot where I was at. What was I talking about? God, I'm getting senile.
And how old are you, Rick? How old are you?
63.
63. All right. And she was 87.
The reason I'm on Medicare is because Medicare, you normally don't get till you retire. The only reason I get it because I'm disabled, but I had to wait 2 years for it. But what was I talking about anyway before I went off on to Vanessa?
The last I recall is the
medical
your contact lenses.
I want contacts for shooting. I said so when I hold that gun up, I can line of vision. I can see the sights, and I can shoot. Plus, I can wear my Ray-Bans and look cool. I got an expensive pair of Ray-Bans I can't wear right now because I ain't got no contacts. You know? I prefer wearing, Vanessa, I prefer wearing contacts to shoot than glasses because my glasses basically are bifocal, but they call them progressive because there's no line. Basically because it fades from one thing to another. So I got to move my head around to get the lens lined up on the sight before I can take a shot. But with contacts, I can raise it right up because I'm right eye dominant. Lines right up with the sights, and boom, it's faster for me. I find it better. You know. So there you go. I mean, should I be wearing contacts at my age? Or should I? I mean, I don't feel 63. I still feel young. My body tells me I'm not. But
yeah, that's up to you and your lifestyle.
Yeah.
So,
oh yeah, I went and saw the dietitian as well. Well, I'm just rambling on here. Oh, real quick, the quiz. Let me do the quiz before people start dropping out. I only had one entry for last week, so that one entry is the winner. And the question was, the winner is Jason Stewart. He's the only one that entered. So he wins the swag pack.
Congratulations, Jason.
Yeah. And the question was, where is it? In the Die Hard movie, what was the main sidearm of Bruce Willis? And it was the Beretta 92X. And I asked, what gun was it adapted from? It was the Beretta 92 SB. Then the third question I asked, what contest or whatever it was designed for the USAF, United States Air Force trials, which it won. And that was the question. And Jason was the only one that answered.
And he probably didn't even have to look it up.
You know?
So, man, that probably wasn't even a challenge for him.
So, yeah. Okay, now this week's question. Now this one, I don't know if people will get it or it'll be easy. I'm not sure. I'm going back in history to the Old West or turn of the century. Tom Horn. He briefly served in the United States Army in the Spanish-American War. I want to know what he did when he was in the Army. What was his job? And that's it. That's all I want to know. So, see, people think I was going to talk about the shooting that he got hung for and stuff like that, or his time as an Indian scout. No, he served in the Army in the Spanish-American War. I want to know what he did. So there you go. Email me at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. So, all right. Where was I? Okay, what we were talking about again. See, I've got so much going on in my brain, I can't remember everything. Oh, dietitian. Yes. I went to the dietitian, and we went over stuff, and she said really you should be on a 2,200 calorie diet per a day. And she goes, use that. She said, use one of those programs on your phone to track what you eat all the time. And that's what I'm doing. And I've lost 2 pounds already since Thursday, and it's only Saturday. So, unless my scale's wrong. So, but basically, I'm eating more salads. She said, basically what we're working on is portion size than anything else. Plus, she says, if you use that program on your phone, it counts your calories. So if like you know, you've used you in carbohydrates. If you're higher in one meal, you can cut back on your next, you know, and everything else. And I asked her about the going on that. What's that diet everybody keeps telling me to go on? The one where you eat lots of meat and no bread or whatever. Keto, is it keto diet? I asked her about it, and she said, being diabetic, she said, you're taking that medication to get your body to make insulin. She goes, well, if you're not, and it's got to do with carbohydrates or whatever. She says, well, if you're not eating any, you could develop very serious low blood sugar by doing that diet. So,
yeah, I'd be cautious with some of that. You know, they basically like she's stating, you have diabetes, so some of those diets aren't for everybody. And the other issue with a lot of those diets that I've noticed is you just end up rebounding a lot of times. So
and that's another thing she said.
Yeah, I think you're a lot better off just adjusting like you're doing slowly, you know, changing, modifying what, you know, your amounts and what you're eating.
Don't be disappointed if the first couple of weeks it doesn't seem to be doing anything. She said, because as you said, you got to change, you got to modify, you know, what you're doing.
Your body takes time to catch up to the change. So, but you can trick it once you start getting it good. You know, you'd be surprised. You can completely reverse things. So, like in my case, you know, now I could eat all day and it's like I can't gain weight. So,
yeah. But as I said,
it doesn't happen overnight.
I lost 2 pounds since Thursday. Now, whether that's, I said my scale might not be right, but I'm happy. I feel like I'm doing. I mean, the last couple of days, I feel good. You know, from what I've been eating so far. So, there we go. Mind you, I did cheat. I did cheat when I came out of the dietitian's. I went and had a Dairy Queen. I had a cone on my way home.
You got to harden up, Rick. Harden up, buddy.
I'm eating a lot of ice cream, so I might as well have one now before I start.
You want it or you don't. You got to harden up. Self-discipline. The only person you're cheating or hurting is yourself.
Absolutely.
Know, from the goals you want to do. So every little bit is, you know, all those little bits add up. You know, it's like impulse buying. All that stuff adds up to, oh my God. So, you know, don't short yourself, man. You're doing it for you. You know, the best investment you have is your health because, you know, what else you got, really?
Yeah. Oh, hang on a minute. Where is it? Oh, shit. Oh, damn it. All right. I got this the other day or today. Everybody needs to be warned. If you see this guy, do that. Did that share?
Oh, yeah, I see that.
Yeah. This wanted poster. Wanted poster of Michigan. 50,000K reward. Squib load. I think it's funny anyway. So, anyway, you got anything else you want to talk about while we're here? If not, I'll go feed the cats. And I'm having barbecue chicken. Skinless barbecue chicken. So I mean, it's not cooked in oil. It's not fried chicken or anything. It's just going to be skinless chicken with some salt and pepper on it. That's it. And a salad.
Pretty good.
You know?
And no, I don't have nothing besides, you know, that. So you're going to bake the chicken, I assume, or?
No, I'm going to barbecue it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, barbecue. Sorry.
Yeah. I figured that would be, you know, that'll work. So, there we go. Oh, I ordered a new cover for my my scooter because the other one I got is all faded and it's doing that. Plus, the goddamn little Yorkshire Terrier from next door, I'm going to shoot it if I catch it doing it again. It's
peeing on it.
Yes, because my scooter sits outside, and I have the cover to keep it dry when it rains, and it's where it's parked. The next door neighbor lets his dog loose to go to the bathroom. He always comes over and cocks his leg against it, so it stinks.
They sell a product at Lowe's. Sure, they have it at other stores similar, but comes in a little sprinkled kind of like a, I don't know, comes in a little container. You turn the top, it opens up like a salt and pepper shaker, and you sprinkle it around, and basically it's dog repellent. It's not harmful, but supposedly dogs won't go past it. Now, I only know what I read off the bottle because I was shocked to see it myself, but it might be worth a shot to sprinkle some of that around there.
Yeah, it might be.
I don't know. You mean you can Google it, look it up, but
I would give it a try. Yeah, I'll give it a try. But anyway, where I was going this way, I mean, now to order a scooter cover, they try to charge you $30-$40 for one. And you can get the exact same one for a barbecue, fits right over it, no problem, for about $15. So that's what I buy. I buy a barbecue cover. I ordered one off of Amazon, almost identical to the one I got. I said, that's it. That's the one. I ordered it. It arrived, and it doesn't match the picture. In the picture, it's solid black. This one has their logo on it, right? And that's not shown in the picture. If I wanted their logo on it, I would have asked for it. If they want me to display it with their logo, they should pay me for it.
Give you a discount. Yeah, that's how I feel about all the big logos with the clothing and stuff. Like, you should be paying me.
I'm sending it back. And it asked why. I said misrepresentation on the page, and it asked you to explain. So I did. I said, it's got your logo on it, and it doesn't show that in the picture. And I said, if you want me to use it, I said, you pay me. So I'm sending it back. I just thought I'd say that. Yeah, I mean, I guess in my old age, I get kind of. I mean, also what they used to. I don't know if they do it over here, but in England, I don't know if they still do it. But 20 years ago, when they went over to plastic bags and shit like that, the grocery store would charge you for them, like a penny for each one, right? So what I would do, they would charge me the penny. I had to carry my groceries. I would stand there. And, of course, they don't bag them for you. You have to bag your own groceries. You pay for the goddamn bag, and you got to bag your own, right? I would turn them inside out before I bagged my groceries. And some manager came up to me and said, why are you doing that? I said, I ain't paying you to advertise your store. If you want me to advertise your store, give them to me free. He didn't like that. But I think it's true. So, anytime anybody, I mean, I'm not saying I do it all the time, but certain things, if I don't think I should have to pay for. And I don't think, anyway, I'm just rambling now.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. And just besides that fact alone, it's not what you decided on. When you were going through, clicking through stuff and said, oh, yeah, I like that one. That's not what you got. So in the end, either way, it shouldn't be an issue, in my opinion. But yeah, I don't even like certain guns with, big logos or branding. I see a lot of people want to, highlight their firearm and, make all the writing white or something. Saying I don't even care for that. But
like my I know it's a CNR gun, but my P64, right? It has the maker's name and stuff on it, but then it has the importer stamp on it as well. And the importer stamp, it looks like they didn't care because it's crooked on there. That pisses me off. If you're going to put your stamp on it, at least put it on there nicely. If if the law says you got to have it, at least put it on there nicely. It looks to me like they just stamped it, and slid it along and got to the next one. They just, but what am I? Oh, church bells are going off. It's only 4:30, coming up to. Church must be out, I guess. That's another thing that annoys the piss out of me. And I was baptized a Catholic. I don't go to church, but this church here is a Catholic church. When I was growing up and I did go to church, church was Sunday. That was the seventh day. That's the day of rest. But now Catholic Church, I don't know about the other religions, but a lot of Catholic churches have services on a Saturday evening now. Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. What? I mean, I don't get it.
Yeah, some morning, some evening.
You can go out tonight and get drunk and lay in the morning. So you don't have to get up to go to church on a Sunday. Yeah. Oh, I know. I'm just bitching for the sake of bitching. I know. So I don't want to get into a fight over religion, but that's just something I find. Go to church on a Saturday to save you going on Sunday morning. So to me, that's just hypocritical, I think. But anyway, what do I know? All right. I'm calling it a day. Going to feed the cats. And one of them goddamn bit me yesterday when I was on the chat show yesterday. I mean, I was playing rough with him, and he bit me. And I got 2 marks in my hand here, like a snake bit me. His top 2 teeth sank into my skin. When he pulled them out, I had 2 little red dots there where the blood was. If you look at it, you can say I've been bitten by a snake. So. Yeah. Oh, Kingpin said Catholics get drunk on Sunday too. Saturday is the Sabbath in Judaism and the seventh day Angelus. Maybe they ain't Catholic anymore. Maybe they're not. I don't know. I just said I ain't going to get into it. It's just one of my little pet peeves I have. I have a lot of them. But, Anyway, you got anything you want to plug or shout out there, New York Outcast?
I'm sorry, you're a robot informing me. What was that?
You got anything you want to shout out or plug?
No, just everybody check out each other's channels, support each other out there. Be safe and take care. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, and thank you in the chat for stopping by. I really appreciate it. If I'm roboting, I don't know at my end because it doesn't show up. And my internet service isn't the greatest out here anyway, so I do apologize if that's happening. But I will be back on Wednesday with Shooting with Disabilities at 7 p.m. Eastern, the only time zone that matters. So I want to say thank you for everybody for stopping by on this Saturday afternoon, and I really do appreciate it. And I will see you all later. So everyone have a good one. Bye, everybody. Bye, Sabrina.